Hi friends, welcome. This is our midweek hatha practice. My name is Michelle, if we don't know each other. I'm so glad you're here. I'm glad to be here with you. Today I want to offer a practice for awareness of wholeness, a sense of integration. Yeah. A friend of mine is going through this big kind of transition moment, leaving behind something she really loves, a place she really loves, but that she needs to leave behind to go to what's next, the next adventures of life. And that's always a difficult, bittersweet moment in life, right? And so as I was talking with her, I sort of thought of this chant, remembered this chant that I really love, that is an invocation of this integration of this, the wholeness, the fullness of life. The translation loosely is that this is whole and that is whole. They come from the whole, the wholeness. You remove this from that and what remains is still whole. Yeah. I think it's a really beautiful offering. So I wanted to offer that today, as well as movement that focuses on this sort of integration of what came before and what comes next, this sense of the fullness, the wholeness of life. Yeah. So that's what I'm rolling with, what my intention for this practice is. But as always, practice according to your own intention, what your body, mind, heart need today. We start in a seat of some kind, yeah, or really any supported shape. A few moments of stillness and resonance before we move. Here to tune in a moment toward the wholeness of yourself. Not only the thoughts of the mind, not only the sensations of the body, but all of it held together in this moment by the space you're in, by the breath that moves through. And I'll offer this mantra, which is also offered for you down in the description of the video, if you would like to join in. Purnam-adah, purnam-idam, Purnat, purnam-udachyate, Purnasya, purnam-adaya, purnam-evavashisyate, Purnam-adah, purnam-adam, Purnat, purnam-udachyate, Purnasya, purnam-adaya, purnam-evavashisyate, Purnam-adah, purnam-idam, Purnat, purnam-udachyate, Purnasya, purnam-adaya, purnam-evavashisyate, purnam-evavashisyate. And an opportunity for us to join in resonance, amplify the resonance between us with the sound of Om together. Where you are, find a full breath in, an easy breath out. Toward Om, a breath in. Allow that resonance to stay in your awareness, to grow with breath until there's movement that calls you. Stretching, reaching. You can adjust your seat, maybe change to a different seat if you feel like you've been here too long. But reach your arms up overhead, and at first it can be asymmetrical, just like a spontaneous stretch of some kind. And then begin to integrate. Right? Imagine yourself drawing toward this central channel of your body so that you feel your ribs stacked over your hips. You feel everything, nothing sort of splaying out, but everything drawn towards center without force, but just this sense of integration. And then interlace your fingers overhead, press your palms up toward the ceiling with a breath. Let that breath go. And like you are a big open channel for breath, take another breath in. And when you exhale, press your palms forward, round your spine, pull your belly toward your spine, tuck your chin in. And a couple times with breath, press your palms forward and up, but try not to splay your rib cage open, keep it all together. And then when you exhale, curl in round your spine. Hello, Izzy. The pup has come to play. Inhale, open up fingers or palms toward the sky. Exhale, round forward. Inhale, reach up. And then bring your palms behind the back of your head. Your elbows are going to stay wide. And again, try to draw in through your front ribs so you feel space to breathe between your shoulder blades. Breath in. Exhale, lift over to the right, kind of bringing your right elbow down. Round your spine as you sort of curl in, but keep your elbows wide. And then over to the left, roll your right ribs back. Lean back a bit, lift through the center to support yourself. And then reverse that over to the left. Round your spine, keep your elbows wide. Over to the right. Lean it back any amount, pressing your head into your hands into your head. And reintegrate, reach tall again. As open as you can be to this full body breath in. And breath out. Releasing your hands down to the earth. To find your way toward a tabletop shape. As always, option to move around a bit in this shape. Shake anything out that you need to. But we're also kind of exploring the extremes, right? We're often finding like that cow and cat spine here, maybe rolling around in your shoulders. We're sort of experimenting with the extremes of movement in your spine. But then we're coming toward a middle ground, right? And again, an open channel along your torso. Hug slightly through your arm bones and down into the earth. And just feel the spaciousness, supported space that's created there. And can you keep that space open? Keep the hug of your arms and the spaciousness in your lungs, in your rib cage, as you tuck your toes and lift your hips back and up toward downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Find again that integration. Your front ribs draw in to make space to breathe at the back of your lungs, the back of your heart. Hug in through your arm bones and down through your hands to draw back through your hips, to draw your shoulders away from your ears. Find a full body breath in and breath out. Lift now through your hips until your heels want to lift. And that, you might want to just stay there a moment, kind of stretching through your feet. And keep your hips as tall as you can as you begin to draw your right knee toward your nose. Hug your right shin in toward your thigh. Hug everything in. Look forward to step forward toward your right thumb. And then let your back knee touch down. And again, this is sort of in an extreme, right? If your hips are hanging heavy, if your heart is drawing forward, you're really opening up the front line of your body. And then sort of even that out by hugging in through your legs. Press down through your right foot into the earth to climb your fingers toward the sky, Anjaneyasana. Settle a little into your hips. So sometimes we play with this pulsation, right, of hugging in and up with the breath in, and then sinking down to the earth and forward through your right shin with your exhale. So let's find today that balance in between. You might find that pulsation a couple times, right, just to explore the extremes. But then find a middle ground for yourself where you feel engaged and supported, but still open to breath. Interlace your hands, bring your hands behind your head, elbows wide. Stay here, hug in, press down through your right foot and up through your crown, and then tip over to the right. Any amount, as much as you can without falling over. Breathe in. When you exhale and hinge forward, begin to draw your hips back toward a half split shape. And we're testing balance a little bit here, yeah? Press through your right heel, draw back through your right hip and open through your elbows. Press the back of your head up into your hands. Find a breath in. A breath out. Lunge forward, back into that integration, and then over to the left. Rolling your right ribs back, press through your right foot. And then toward this slight back bend, right? Lift up, press back into your hands. Your hands hold your head. Press into your right foot, find a breath in. A breath out. Reach up toward the ceiling. Hinge forward, hands to the earth. Tuck your toes behind you to lift your back knee. Pour your weight forward through a real gentle standing split here. So it might be more like a standing L. Yeah, and there might still be a bend in your right knee because it's real early for your hamstrings still. Focus on pouring the weight forward, hanging your head heavy, but still your shoulders hug away from your ears. Draw down through your pinky toe on your left foot. Yeah, to really bring your left hip down even with the right. Press down a lot through your right foot. Whether or not your right leg is straight, engage your whole leg. Engage your left leg. Breath in. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana, your left foot next to the right. Now all your weight was in your right foot, so now we're sort of equalizing, sharing the weight between both legs. Imagine you could breathe in through your feet and up through your sitting bones. Exhale down along your spine and out through the crown of your head or the tips of your fingers. Just that again. You are a channel for breath. Inhale, pull up from the earth. Exhale, pour down toward the earth. Same, but as you inhale, find a halfway lift. Lengthen your spine from center. Ardha Uttanasana. Keep this length in your spine. Keep that open channel as you bend your knees, sit your hips back. Utkatasana, chair pose. Press through your feet. Bring your arms forward or up. Settle back through your tail, back and down. Down through your feet until you feel like a little rebound lifting up through your spine. Imagine lifting your thumbs, your thumbnails even, just to open up the back of your waist. And a breath in. A breath out. Settle into the earth. Again, a breath in. Breath out. Press down into the floor to stand up, reach tall. Interlace your hands to press your palms up toward the ceiling. Your ribs draw in and open. Stay with the exhale. Draw hands down through heart center as you shift your weight to the right. Press through your right foot. Lift through the rest of your right side. And then from this sort of integral strength at the center, begin to draw your left knee toward your chest. And in this case, lift it whatever amount you can while still staying long in your spine. So don't let yourself round toward your knee. Whatever amount you can lift your knee, do that for a moment. And then even it back out so that your left thigh is parallel to the floor-ish. Yeah, you don't have to like find a mirror. Parallel-ish to the floor. Interlace your hands over your left thigh and press your left thigh into your hands into your thigh. And just feel the activation at your center, at your core. Can you keep that activation but release your hands back to your heart space? Still breathing. One more inhale here. Keep that activation at the center as you now press your left heel back in space and pour your heart forward. Draw your crown forward. Again, your right knee could still be bent here. But rotate that pinky toe side of your left leg down to the earth, lifting a little through your right hip, right thigh. Breath in from center, lengthen. Breath out, stay open. Deep bend in your standing leg, but keep that back heel lifted, the back of your heart lifted. Reach your toes back and your hands down to earth. Lift up through your hips to step back, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Be here to breathe. Full body breath. So even if there's some fluidity, right? Even if you're kind of in the current of life, of breath, there's this steadiness at the center that holds you. From here, lift through your hips until your heels lift. Lift through your hips as much as you can, a big stretch on the back of your legs. Hug in and down through your arms. Draw your left knee toward your nose. Hug everything in, and up. And then look forward to step forward. And bring your back knee down. Let your hips hang heavy at first. Your heart draw forward and open. Big breath along the front of your right side. And then hug in a bit more. You almost come out of the lunge a little bit. It gets less dramatic as you push your left foot into the earth and rise, arms to the sky, Anjaneyasana. Settle into the lunge again. With your inhale, hug into your legs, up through the back of your waist, the back of your heart. And then again, you might just find a middle ground right away, or you might need that pulsation a couple times, sinking down, and then hugging in and up. This outside of your left thigh is hugging backward. Find the balance, be there a moment. Open for breath to move through. Interlace your hands, press your palms up toward the ceiling. And then behind your head, elbows wide. Feel almost as if your elbows are pressing away from each other. Lift up and over to the left. Keep hugging your left hip back, rolling your right ribs back. Press through your left foot. And then begin to hinge forward, draw your hips back for this half split shape. Ardha Hanumanasana. Press down through your left heel, lengthen your spine more. Whoop, I fell over. You might too, that's all right. Lift the back of your heart, lift the back of your head into your hands. Elbows are still wide. Breath in. Breath out. Come back into your lunge. Come over to the right. Lean back into your hands. And then lift your spine toward the ceiling. Lift up and back. Any amount. Find a breath though. Push through your left foot. Breathe through your crown. Breath out. Inhale, reach tall again, sort of reintegrate in case you came out of that space. And then forward, hands to the earth. Tuck your toes behind you. Still drawing back through the outside of your left thigh, your left hip. Pour your weight forward till your right toes lift. A gentle standing split, standing, back leg lifted, whatever you want to call it. Again, turn that pinky toe side of your right foot down your right leg. Lift through the outside of your left leg. Draw up through your belly, same as you did in the forward fold. Breathe in through your left leg and up into center. Breathe out through your right foot and your crown at the same time. 2 breaths. Draw in. Extend that steadiness. Extend center. Breath in. Exhale. Step forward and fold. Uttanasana. Breathe through both legs. Heavy through the heart. Heavy through your head. Breath in. And out. Press through your feet. Lift your belly to lengthen your spine. Ardha Uttanasana. Lengthen more. Yeah, like you're being pulled back by your hip creases, forward by your ears. Keep that length as you bend your knees. Settle your hips back and down. Utkatasana. Breathe. Again, if you really splay your front ribs open, you'll not be able to breathe as fully. Yeah. So hugging your front ribs in actually gives you more space to breathe. Another breath in. Breath out. Press into the earth to stand, reach tall. Hands draw down to heart center. Press your palms together. Stay open across the heart space. Begin to shift your weight to the left. Press down through your left leg or down through your left foot and up through your left side. When you're ready, begin to bring your right knee toward your chest. Whatever amount, you can lift your right knee, your right thigh, without curling in your spine. And then you could use your hands to bring your right thigh back down toward parallel with the floor. Find a little lift through your left thigh, your left hip to support you. Press your hands and your right thigh together. Find engagement at the center. You might even feel a little bit taller. Stay a breath. Keep the engagement, but release your hands to heart center. Press your palms together. Keep that engagement at the center, but tip forward. Your right heel presses back like it's pressing against resistance. Your heart draws forward. Again, you could have a bend in the left leg, but keep the lift through your left hip, that turning down through the pinky toe side of your right leg. Breathe. Stay lifted. Stay open. Big, deep bend in your left leg. Stay for a breath. Stay lifted. Then reach your right toes back, your fingertips down. Lift up and step back, downward facing dog. Ooh. Back to center, back to breath. And intention too. Right? What is it you carry with you? What is it you let go, leave behind with each breath? What are you moving toward? Those might be questions without answers in this moment, but let them be there, right? Let the questions stay open. Now, when you're ready, again, lift your hips until your heels lift. Draw your right knee in toward your nose. Hug in, and forward to step forward. Let your back knee stay lifted this time. I should say knee up or down. Yeah, you could do the same as the last. I'm going to rise toward crescent lunge. So hugging this right hip back. Press through your right foot to rise. So right away you're looking for that steadiness at the center. The balance of hugging in and up. Pressing down through your right foot to grow. But also that settling, yielding of weight down into the earth. Your front thigh sinks toward the earth. Your back thigh presses up toward the sky. Here you are in the middle. Breathing. Interlace your hands. Press up first. Open up. Then your hands behind your head. Elbows wide. Press into your right foot. Lift up and back first. Strong through the back leg. Stay open. Release through center. Come up and over to the right. Breath in. Push through your right foot. Breathe through your right foot. And out through the crown of your head. Back through center. Inhale. Exhale up and over to the left. Keep that integration at center. Stay open. Rise up through center. Hinge forward. Hinge forward till your left toes want to leave the earth. Maybe you keep your hands as they are. Maybe they need to come to heart center or fly back behind you. Be where you need to be. But lift through this right side. Lift through your left heel, through the back of your heart. Your ears draw forward. Breath in. Breath out. Stand up, root both feet. Whew, arms to the sky. Press up toward the ceiling. Hands to heart center. Pausing here. A moment to just feel what you feel. Feel yourself as whole and part of the greater whole. Breath rolling through. Root through both feet. Breathe in through both feet and up through center. Exhale through the crown of your head and back down through your feet at the same time. Shift your weight right once again. Push through your right foot. Draw your left knee in toward your chest and then down toward parallel with the earth. This time, cross your left ankle over your right thigh and then sit back into that chair, but now with only one leg. Open up through the outsides of your hips, through your glutes. Sit back, in other words. Even as your heart draws forward, keep your front ribs in. Draw open through the back of your heart. Press through your palms. Even if you want to fold all the way down, your forearms toward your left shin. Stay open. Breathe your hips back. Breathe to the back of your heart. Exhale. Press through your right foot to stand. Left knee back toward your chest. Press your left heel back just as transition, just a full inhale, reaching your heel back, your crown forward. Then to warrior two. Settle your heel back. Then open up your hips and your ribs sort of point toward the top left corner of your mat. As you open your arms wide, then your ribs draw back a bit. Your left ribs spin back a bit. But your hips can stay steady here. Hug in. Expand out. Hug in, press through your right leg to extend it. Keep the hug even as you extend forward and down toward Trikonasana, triangle pose. So this is a big, wide open pose, right? All your limbs and your spine are extended. And there's this hug, this integration at the center. Pressing your left palm forward as you roll your left ribs back. Pressing down through both feet and out through the crown of your head. Breathe. Be sure there's space between your right hip and your right armpit that feels long. So if you're like collapsing down, bring yourself a bit longer, even if that means bringing your hand up a bit higher. But breathe here. Full body breath. Use a last inhale to really lengthen out along the back of your neck, along your spine. Use an exhale to come back through warrior two. Press through both feet, rise. And stay, but don't just stay. Press into the earth, grow your spine, be here. Full body breath. Spin both hands down to earth. Lift your back heel, lift your hips, hug in to step back. Downward facing dog. Pausing here. Or in a tabletop if this shape feels like a lot of work right now. But again, come back toward intention. Those questions of, if not, what am I leaving behind? What am I moving toward? Then, more importantly, what stays? Is there a feeling of center, of source, somewhere inside? Place from which you can breathe and to which you return when you exhale. Lift your hips until your heels lift. Draw your left knee in toward your nose, round. Draw forward to step forward. Back knee stays lifted. Hug in, press down through your left foot to rise, Anjaneyasana. Crescent lunge, high crescent. Settle into your hips. Hug through your legs and up through the back of your waist. Breathe. The front thigh sinks toward the earth. The back thigh presses up toward the sky. Breath between. Interlace your hands, press up toward the ceiling. Then bring your elbows wide. Press your head into your hands into your head. Up and back first. Keep the hug through your legs, like scissors. Breath in. Stay, exhale. Rise, supported. Up and over to the left. Keep the hug for support, for balance. Keep the breath. Back through center with an inhale. Up and over to the right as you exhale. Inhale back through center. Keep this integration as you hinge forward until your right toes leave the earth. Press your left foot to rise. Breathe. Full body breath stays with you here. One more. Stay lifted, stay light. Push through your left foot, rise. Both feet to the earth, arms to the sky, reach tall. Draw in, hands through heart center. Pause. Be here to notice. Feel yourself as one whole being, breathing. And when you're ready, shifting your weight left. Push through your left foot, draw your right knee in, and then your right thigh down parallel to the floor. Almost like you could press down through your right foot into something, stand taller. Then cross your right ankle over your thigh, sit your hips way back and down. Press your palms into each other, draw wide through your elbows, wide through your right knee. Could hinge forward, even bringing your forearms all the way down to your right shin, but lightly, yeah. Open up along your whole spine, your whole torso. Ears draw forward, hips draw back. Press down to stand tall. Press your right heel back as if against resistance. Stay just one breath. Get light, buoyant at the back of your heart. Deep bend in your left leg. Reach your right toes back toward warrior two. Open up. Breathe. Hug in through arms and legs and center in and up. Press down into the earth until your left leg goes straightish. You want to keep a little micro bend. Yeah. Both thighs are strong and engaged. Your right hip will sort of sass to the right as you reach your left fingers forward and down over your left leg. Press into your right palm overhead. Draw your right ribs back. Peel open. Draw your left shoulder, left upper arm really rolls back away from your ear. Probably it's easy to notice all the space along the right side. Could there also be space along the left side? Could you stay long and open to breath? Two more breaths. Be here, wide open. Use an inhale to lengthen your spine more. Use an exhale toward warrior two. Press through both feet. Reintegrate on your way up to settle. Press into the earth. Rise through your spine. Spin both hands down to earth. Step back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Breathe. Stay here a little longer, or we're meeting in a tabletop shape, so whichever feels best in this moment. Maybe you could sense a difference between the first time you were in this shape today and now. Places might feel stronger, places might feel more spacious, more tired. Keep pressing into the earth. Lengthen through your spine. Keep that steadiness in your belly, but sink your rib cage down toward the earth. So we're taking out, hollowing out the space between your shoulder blades. Hang your head down too. Take a breath here. Breath in through your hands. Breath out through your tail and your crown at once. Keeping your hips right over your knees as they are. Begin to walk your hands forward and let your shoulders stay easeful. It could be kind of a feline feeling. Walk your hands forward just a bit. Maybe you're bringing your elbows down just to test that sense of steadiness at the center, that heaviness at the heart and in your head. You could stay right here. Sometimes that feels really good. You could stay here or keep walking your hands forward like you would in child's pose, but with your hips tall. Forehead to the earth. Maybe you bring your chin, your chest to the earth. We're opening up with this sense of integration, of wholeness and support. Two more breaths, full body breath. Then slowly from that steadiness at the center, begin to walk your hands back in. You could take a moment to sit on your shins if that feels good, or stay in that tabletop shape. Full body breath in, breath out. We're meeting together back in downward facing dog. But no more lunges or warriors, I promise. Find your way back. Back to integration, back to intention. This sense of wholeness, of openness. Lift your hips till your heels lift. Keep with that. Soften your knees just a little so your hips can really draw back. And then tilt both heels to the right, your toes to the left, until your right heel falls to the earth. You could stay right here. You could roll your left ribs back until your left arm reaches tall toward a side plank. So maybe you're stepping your left foot in front of you. Maybe it's stacking on top of the right. It could also come back behind you. More of a wild thing situation. But where you are, breathe. Full body breath from the earth, out through your limbs, through your spine. And bring it back around, simply, sweetly, downward facing dog. Breathe. And if this full breath here feels foreign, note that for the other side. Yeah, we'll try to keep with the breath. Lift with your hips until your heels lift. Lengthen your spine. Keep the length as your heels go left, your knees just slightly bent, your toes to the right till your heel comes down on the left. Roll your right ribs back to peel your right arm open. Maybe, maybe not. Any version of this Vashisthasana, or again, Kamakarasana, wild thing shape. But breathe as if you're just allowing breath to move through, move freely. And then release back through center. Full body breath in. Breath out. Lift through the center, lift through your hips again to draw your right knee toward your nose. Look forward, bring your right knee toward your thumb, your shin on the earth. Yeah, and either extend your left leg back, your thigh toward the earth, or you can lean to the right. Find this kind of pinwheel shape, your left thigh into your right foot. Either way, as you sit tall, not folding down yet, as you sit tall, this left hip sinks toward the earth. Toward being the key word, yeah. So if you're in this half pigeon shape, it's the front of your left hip settling toward the earth to even with the right. If you're in this pinwheel shape, it's the back of your left hip settling toward the earth to even with the right. But where you are, from that evenness, that's where the integration of your pelvis, lift your heart up, press down through your right shin, lift up through your crown. Keep all this length as you tilt forward. Pouring your heart forward and down toward the earth. Maybe your hands, maybe your elbows, maybe your forehead is coming to the earth, or a block or a bolster. In places where there is sensation, could you imagine the boundaries of that sensation soften and spread out, kind of dissipate through your breath? So that you're no longer two muscles that are speaking to you and another couple hundred that are at ease, but one breathing being balancing out those sensations into the whole. Find 3 more breaths, maybe a little deeper or a little freer than you've been breathing up until now. Then as you're ready, give weight to your hands. Walk them back in under your shoulders. Find your way back to downward facing dog. Press into the earth. Find that integration and engagement to bring you back. Yeah. It's our last time in this shape together today. Full body breath. Lift through the center, through your hips until your heels lift. Keep that buoyancy, that lightness. So you draw your left knee toward your nose, your heart forward. Bring your left shin forward, your knee toward your wrist. And then again, either extend your right leg back or draw your right knee in toward your left foot. Wherever you are, this right hip, either at the front or the back, is settling toward the earth, toward evenness with the left. Press down into the earth to extend up through your spine, up through your ears, up through the back of your heart, the back of your waist. Breath in. Keep all of that length. Just tilt it forward. Extend. Pour forward. So that even if you find yourself all the way down on the earth, there's still this sort of longing, reaching forward and back. A sense of spaciousness here. Again, soften the boundaries of sensation, or be open to that possibility at least. Soften the boundaries between exhale and the next inhale. Soften the boundaries between what is you and what is everything else. Allowing yourself to be aware of your interconnection, your integration with the greater whole. When you're ready, give weight to your hands. Walk them back in under your shoulders. But this time, instead of coming back up, we'll stay low. Yeah. So if you're already in that pinwheel shape, stay there. If you're in this Ardha Kapotasana, bring your weight left to bring your right knee toward your left foot. Then bring your hands back behind you, and you'll probably be kind of at an angle from your mat if you're using a mat. Soften your elbows, trying to keep this lightness across your heart. Leave your feet pretty much where they are, but lift your knees toward the ceiling. That's when you'll kind of even out your hands behind you. And then send your knees to the right. A little spaciousness along the left side. Bring your knees back toward the ceiling. And then over to the left. Feel the space, the breath along the right side. And find that a couple more times. And it's up to you in your body. It might be the movement that feels best, a little massage along the outside of your hips and your glutes. Or it might be the stillness that feels best, that openness along the side body. So just kind of see where you want to focus your breath. And then in a breath or two, release that, bring your feet out in front of you. Come down onto your back or whatever other shape where you want to be still. Let yourself be supported, maybe by a block, maybe by bolsters, blankets. This, whatever shape we're in, this state that we're seeking, this state that we are always moving toward, is one of wholeness. Yoga as union, the integration, the interconnection of all things. Allowing yourself again to soften the boundaries. To be here and breathing at ease a few moments. Purnam-adah, purnam-idam, Purnat, purnam-udachyate, Purnasya, purnam-adaya, purnam-evavashisyate, purnam-edavashisyate. As you begin to notice again your breath, your body, the world around you. Notice too that you're supported and connected. This sound with which we end our practice or mark this transition of practice, the sound of Om, is in itself an invocation of wholeness, the fullness of life. It honors all that came before, including the generations that came before us in this practice, carried it forward. The sound Om honors where we'll go and where we are now. The beginning and the end and all that exists between. I invite you to join me in this sound, this resonance, or just allow it to move through. In any case, find that full body breath and release it toward Om, a breath in. From here, from this place of resonance, I bow to you with gratitude, with love as always. Thank you for being here, for being you and being in this community. Truly, truly appreciate you. If you've got questions or feedback or requests, please do drop them in the comments, send them my way. In any case, be good to each other. See you next time. Hey friends, Michelle here. Thanks so much for being here. It means a lot to be able to share this practice and this community with you. If you want to support what we're up to, the easiest way is to like this video, subscribe to our channel, maybe even leave a comment. We love hearing requests and feedback, whatever you want to share with us. If you want to be sharing this practice in real life here in France, we have a retreat coming up in September. We'd love to see you there too. Get all the details at the link in the description. Hope to see you before then. Be well, be good to each other.